Hello everyone! Today we're going to be jumping back into Timeless with a Displacer Kitten Teferi combo deck. Now let me talk a little bit about how this combo works before we get started. So Teferi, Time Raveler, and Displacer Kitten need to be on the battlefield, and we need to have a Mox Amber. Mox Amber could already be on the battlefield, but it doesn't have to be. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get Mox Amber on the battlefield, make sure that Teferi can activate his ability, and we're going to tap this for either 1 white mana or 1 blue mana, since Teferi is a legendary planeswalker. Then, we're going to use Teferi's -3 ability to return the Mox Amber to our hand and draw a card. Now, from there, when we recast that Mox Amber to put it onto the battlefield, we're going to use this Displacer Kitten ability to flicker Teferi, which is going to give him 4 loyalty counters again and let us use his -3 ability. We tap the Mox Amber for 1 mana, bounce it, draw a card, and then rinse repeat until we have all the mana we want and all of the cards we want. Now, what are we going to do with all this mana and all these cards? Well, we've got a couple of things here. Narset is going to help us find some of the spells that we're looking for, and we're also including 1 copy of Oracle of the Alpha to add the power 9 to our hand and be able to take tons of extra turns, which will eventually result in us winning the game, since we can also use Teferi to bounce some of our opponent's creatures. And again, extra turns on extra turns is definitely going to pan out pretty well for us. Now let's talk about some of the other cards we have. We have 4 copies of the Ring. This is solid card draw, but also protection for us, since we do want to be surviving through that mid-game. And then we also have a bunch of card draw. So Lorien Revealed is good because it can either get us an island or will eventually be card draw. Brainstorm is great for looking through our deck and finding some of the cards we need, and as an added bonus, if we have things that we don't want, we can actually go ahead and shuffle them away with our fetch lands. And we do have 3 copies of Mishra's Bauble as well. This is good because it gives us some information on our opponent's deck. We can also use it for 0 mana to trigger Displacer Kitten, so this could give us more potential options to interact with the board while we're doing our combo. Now, the next thing that we have is protection for ourselves. That comes in 2 forms. One is removal with 2 copies of Fragment Reality, as well as 4 copies of Swords to Plowshares. And then we also have our counter spells. That would be Spell Pierce, the OG counterspell, and then Archmage's Charm as well. Archmage's Charm is actually really strong for us, since we can also use this for card draw or to gain control of a non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. So lots of things we can do there. Taking a look at the mana base, we do have a bunch of fetch lands, as I'd mentioned. These are great for synergizing with Brainstorm, making sure that we're shuffling away those cards we don't want. And then the other thing worth noting is that 1 copy of Hall of the Storm Giants, because this does really accelerate our ability to pressure our opponent. So that's really good to have there as well. Now, deck list is down in the description if you want to go ahead and copy this and try it for yourself. But if you guys have been enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest videos. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does. Alright, so here we are going first. We've got Mox Amber, we have Teferi. All we need is our Displacer Kitten, so I think this looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and start with the Flooded Strand. This way we can hold up potential swords if we need it. Sacred Foundry. Skirk Prospector. We're gonna wait till the end step, and I do want to get rid of that. Just a little bit too much that our opponent can do there, so goodbye. Gonna play another blue land. Pretend we're holding up a counterspell. Let's go Teferi. We'll just plus here. We're holding up Spell Pierce off Mox Amber. Not that that particularly matters. Goblin Matron, sure. Yep, Muxus. That's to be expected. We can play Oracle here. That could be good. We can also... Let's see. There's potential for Muxus next turn, so I think we play Oracle and then pretend to hold up a counterspell. Kinda like that. We now have extra turn spells in our deck, so that's really good for us.
I am not making this up as I go.
We have Spell Pierce. Can play out the One Ring next turn. Sneak attack. I see. Well, we'll Spell Pierce that. That was really good for us. Let's go One Ring here. Draw a card. We find Brainstorm. We'll just plus this again.
Don't worry, I got this.
We could attack here, but I won't. We'll leave the Oracle back. And then we'll Brainstorm. Alright, so we're looking at maybe Muxus. Nope, they're going for the sneak attack. Yep. Probably gonna swing at Teferi. Yep. So let's Brainstorm here. Yeah, no need to block, because we don't get anything from that. Unfortunately, we do lose Teferi here.
Only a matter of time.
We can play out Narset. I think we do this. So we play Narset. We use the -2. We grab Time Walk to take an extra turn. Activate this to draw 2 cards. We'll play a Mox Jet. That can enter tapped. Let's go ahead and Scry, get some free damage. Brainstorm with the Strand is going to be good for our next turn. Honestly, we're just going to go here and use the Bauble as well. Take a look at what our opponent's got. That way we'll draw some extra cards. Yep. Okay, Swords isn't bad. Let's start by Brainstorming. We find Displacer Kitten. That's good. We'll go ahead and put back Swords and the other Brainstorm. Then we'll play the Displacer Kitten. Gonna activate Narset here.
Meditate and prepare.
We'll take Brainstorm back. Let's move to combat Scry with the Oracle. Windswept Heath, we'll throw that down. Now we just need to find a Teferi. So let's go ahead and Brainstorm. Flicker Narset.
I was not prepared for this. There are so many mysteries to uncover.
Perfect. We can get rid of Brainstorm and the other Narset for right now. Alright, let's use this. Archmage's Charm. Flooded Strand. We'll grab an island. Let's draw our cards here. Mock Sapphire, flicker the One Ring. That way it'll stop killing us. Teferi. Flicker Narset. Minus Teferi, return the Mox Amber. Mox Amber, flicker Teferi. Mox Emerald. We'll use that to flicker the Oracle. Tap that for a blue. We'll tap that as well. Grab back our Mox Amber. Play the Mox Amber, and we've got it. Alright, opponent going first. This isn't terrible, though. We'll keep. Brainstorm with the Delta is fine. We're going to start with just an island. End the turn here. Depending on what our opponent grabs, we can use a Brainstorm to protect ourselves from, like, a Thoughtseize effect, if they have one of those. Flooded Strand doesn't necessarily mean that, but it's possible with Xander's Lounge. Alright, let's see if we get obliterated by Orcish Bowmasters. We do not. Alright, Spell Pierce I think can go for us. I want to hang on to both Teferis. We'll draw the Heath. Let's play the Delta. End the turn. We've got Counterspell potential here, if necessary. Alright. Brainstorm, sure. Let's see, this might be a Tainted Pact deck. We'll have that enter tap. They have too many lands for there to be a Blood Moon that I need to worry about. Heath. Now, do I want to use the Bauble now? That is the question. I think we go for Teferi. Let's shock this Teferi. If they have a counterspell, we'll see it. Yep. And then next turn we can try Teferi again. Honestly, we're gonna go Bauble, take a look, and then draw an extra card next turn. Blood Crypt. Interesting. Archmage Charm is good. If it's a Shadow deck, I don't think it is, but that would put us in a pretty decent spot as well. I think we just pass here, hold up the Archmage's Charm / Counterspell. It is unfortunate that we missed our land drop. Alright, let's try and draw 2 cards. If they counter it, they counter it. Okay, Hollow Storm Giants. Let's go for Narset here. This will draw a counterspell if they have it. Or they'll use a Brainstorm. Yep. Eventually we'll be able to get our Teferi down. 1 ring. We could also play our own 1 ring this next turn, or we can try and get Teferi onto the battlefield. I think we go for Teferi. Because even if they are holding up the Spell Pierce, we can pay for it.
Let's slow this down. I've got it.
Then we'll go 1 ring next turn. We hold up Swords and Counterspell. So we have a lot of options. We can deal with the Shieldred pretty easily. Next turn we can play out our own 1 ring. Okay.
I won't let you win.
Lightning Bolt. Sorcery Speed, that's fine. We can counter the next thing they try and use. Yeah, I think we counter the Snapcaster. Yep. They also can't react to our counter spells. That's a fun note there. Okay, we sacrificed the Planeswalker. Sure. Opponent had to use a lot there. And then Brainstorm. We'll drop the One Ring next turn. Double Swords will be good for us. Play the Heath. Draw here. See if we find anything good. Narset. End the turn. Shieldred. Sure. So we can Swords the Shieldred. We're gonna wait till the end step for that, though. Or wait until they try and draw. Perfect. There goes Shieldred. They do gain some life and draw some cards, but we're still in a good spot. Do I want another Hollowed Fountain? I think I do. Love that enter tapped. We'll take the 1 here, activate. Play out our planes. We can go for Narset. They're back to being able to use counter spells, but we have Spell Pierce. Activate Narset's ability.
Like wind and wave.
Lightning Bolt. We have to use Counterspell here. I do want to keep Narset, because Narset blanks the One Ring. Counterspell Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce the Lightning Bolt. I'm okay with their Counterspell resolving.
Thoughtfulness before action.
Okay, let's grab a Spell Pierce. And we'll go Bobble, see what they draw here. They'll draw a new One Ring. We'll also draw another card. We have Swords as well. Swords and Spell Pierce. So we'll see. They might draw 4, replace it. Snapcaster, sure. Snapcaster, Lightning Bolt, hit. Ah, gotcha. That's fine. Let's Spell Pierce here, force someone to tap down. Draw 4. Sure, they'll be taking 4 damage. Only 1 mana left. Meanwhile, we've got a bunch of draws here. Let's see. Attacking for 7 could be good. We can Swords here. Attack for 7. But I do want to draw first. Alright, let's go Swords. Hit the Snapcaster Mage, because I don't want blockers. Polluted Delta. Animate the Hall. Oh wait, sorry. 1 second. We do have to grab this first. Grab our island. Now we can animate the Hall. Swing for 7. And now our opponent needs to figure out a way on their upkeep to not die to the One Ring. They only have 1 mana now, so let's see what they're gonna do about this. Yep, they're gonna draw, looking for something to help. I don't even know what they could possibly have to gain life. Okay, sure, keep looking. Maybe they have a Stifle? But I'd imagine they would have seen it already. Okay, now they have... Again, it has to be stifled, right? For 1 blue. Nope, we've got it. Alright, so this is a really fun control style deck to play. Though the one thing I will warn you of is if you're not careful, your opponent will make you play out the entirety of the Teferi Time Raveler Displacer Kitten combo, which means you are going to have some very long turns. That's one of the main reasons we're including Narset here, to make sure that we can find those extra turn spells a little bit quicker when our opponent does in fact make us play it out. But that being said, always play towards your win. Hall of the Storm Giants is a great addition in this deck. This is one of our primary ways of speeding up the number of turns it's going to take us to beat our opponent, and aside from that, we are playing this kind of like a normal control deck, focusing on countering our opponent's spells, keeping the board nice and clean, and then getting some additional value in the late game. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you have any ideas for another deck that you'd like to see me play, why don't you let me know in a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.